In any organization, there'll be conflicts. And then the query now comes, are conflicts bad or good? Okay, on the background of a blue strategy, I want to think of it like this. Conflicts are golden. Why? Because conflicts, in most cases, come as a result of querying status quo. And anytime anybody or any group of people will be questioning status quo, chances are very, very high that conflicts will come up. But if at all you are managing, then create organization where there are chances or allow conflicts to come up. But come up with structured ways through which the conflicts don't destroy the organization so that they can be managed, so that we get to decide paradigms on performance which will be based on consensus and based on best practices. There's no need assuming and preaching that we should not have conflicts. Then we don't agree, then we don't question things even when things are not working well. I think a manager should allow conflicts to come up. So to me, conflicts are golden so long as they don't destroy the organization. So I would go for first, there'll be two levels, like the industrial disputes, and then the normal one-on-one conflicts as a result of employee relations. Okay, in terms of general conflicts, what is the best way to go about this? There are people who come up with a thinking or a theory or a school of thought they call happy house, where they say, if at all you are very good in your management practices and you're very good in listening to employee voicing or employee voice, and then again you're very good in communication, then you don't need a structured way of handling conflicts. Debatable, but I also believe you can create an organization where individuals are empowered, individuals are motivated, then communications become better, then interpersonal relationships become better, then conflicts reduce, and then you end up with highly performing teams. So I'm looking at a situation where first you have individuals who are emotionally confident and emotionally motivated, and because of that they'll have better ways of relating with each other. So it will not be a win-lose situation. Like I like the way Covey puts it in 7 Habits of Most Effective People. You will now have situations of win-win, where everybody, because they are at interdependence, they'll be relating with each other at mature levels, and because of that, communications will be better. Once communications are better, local a number of misunderstandings will come down, because most conflicts are coming because of misunderstandings or non-clarity of roles or anxiety levels which are too high, and then I'm talking of role conflicts and things like that. So if communication is better as a result of mature emotional intelligence, and then again moral intelligence, and all this will lead to people who are now working at interdependence, and then all their reactions will be win-win situations, not win-lose, because they are not competing at individual level, they are synergizing, and as they synergize, conflicts reduce, and then as they become emotionally mature, one, they become confident. A confident person is not petty. A confident person can respect another confident person. So even if they become independent and confident in whatever they're doing, they'll still be able to relate with others well. And that's why organizations now need very high level of emotional maturity, because these are people who will understand who they are. They'll understand how to relate with each other. They'll understand how to self-regulate their temperament, and then on top of it, they'll be on top of their game. And because of that, they are not suffering inferiority complexes. And because of that, because of self-belief and confidence, they can relate well with other people who are also confident. The challenge will be when some people are confident and some are not. So that's why everybody in the organization should be moved up to a level of interdependence because of emotional maturity. And by the time they are getting to emotional maturity, they've understood themselves to a point where they are leaders already without titles, whether they have titles or not. And at such a case now, we get a win-win situation. When we get a win-win situation, conflicts are less. Now that's a situation where you're going for a happy house approach. Okay, if you don't believe in a happy house approach, then go for the collective bargaining process. Start by creating structures of how to manage conflicts. And in such a case, especially where conflicts take group nature, and if they take group nature, then now you have to handle them like so. There has to be organized teams which mutually respect each other. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at trade unions, and then the organization, bargaining, and the challenge there now is industrial relations process has to go on now. You have to agree on what is bargainable and what is not bargainable. Then trust each other. Then come up with bargaining teams. Then put on the table what you are bargaining. So what you are conflicting about is what now you have to put on the table. Then negotiate on it freely with a lot of mutual respect. Then once that is done, then consolidate the gains, then register the gains. Then now that will guide how you relate. To me, not very sustainable. Why? Because it rarely will it lead to a win-win. And then again, you will be waiting for it to take a collective nature. By the time it's taking a collective nature so that it moves to industrial dispute, then you have wasted a lot of time. And such conflicts now are not easy to manage. Yeah. So you can avoid that. And then again, in between, before you reach the organized nature of industrial disputes, then some other things can be handled through grievance handling processes and procedures, which organization can set up so that people can take their grievances there, then they can be heard, then it can be litigated, then fairness can come in as fast as possible, and with an objective approach of justice and fairness, then conflicts can be reduced.